Well, I was just going to say, I mean, something you always say to us is that, remember these endurance sports, especially triathlon, it's not an intense sport. So you don't need to risk injury by training with too much intensity. Yeah. And trying to push stuff because a 6-hour half Ironman or a 12-hour Ironman, there is not much intensity in that event.
Yeah. Yet a lot of the programs you get off the internet have got, 8 by 200 meter runs on the track. And as we are not saying that is a bad session. That is a great session. I've done many of them, but it's a great session for a 5K runner or an 800 meter runner or a 1500 meter runner. It's not such a valuable session for a marathon, especially a marathon in an Ironman. And it still can be useful for a marathon runner to do some of those sessions, but I still wouldn't be doing 200s or 400s. And so you're going to, increase the risk of injury is one thing from doing these sessions. The faster you run, the more stress you're going to put on your body, and especially when we're preparing, like we talked about the Warrnambool bike race. What are the requirements of the Warrnambool? Long endurance, strength, speed on the bike, and what are the requirements of a marathon in a triathlon? As which is a little bit different to a fresh marathon, but we're talking about a marathon in an Ironman, and there is no time in that event where you'll be running more than sub-threshold. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yes, we need to improve our running ability to be stronger runners. So we surely would concentrate. The requirements are what? Strength and conditioning as a runner, run in the hills, and time on your feet, run longer. Volume. So we do have some strength, shorter runs uphill. We do have some fartlek style running. We do have some interval running, but it's not, less than probably, 8 minutes. That's our interval, 4x8 as a runner, where we can't run actually fast for 8 minutes. We've got to actually measure and execute. So we're trying to restrict the possibility of injury here in the particular training sessions we give. Well, you might ask, well, where do you get your intensity? Well, we get it off the bike. We get all of our hard sessions where the risk of injury is so much less on the bike. And if you're doing 50 reps in a swimming pool, you're going to get your heart rate going. You're going to get, 40, 20s on a bike. Your heart rate's going to be through the roof. You're still getting your cardio, which is what we're trying to get as an overload. We're still getting that from the swim and the bike. And the running, that needs to be focusing on the endurance and the body's ability to be able to stand up and run for whether you're a pro at 2 hours 50 in the event, or whether you're an age group who could possibly be running 3:30 to 4:30. And for those who are, doing 17 hours, they're going to be running 5 hours, walk running 5 hours. So you have to get the requirements of the event. So in training, you need to be focused more on, in the running section, that endurance run. That's why we have, such long run sessions in our training.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to risk injury far less by doing this method.
And the value of consistency absolutely trumps the potential value versus risk of training with too much intensity.
Right? Yeah, there's no doubt that you could have some great sessions where you've nailed some intensity, but you have 2 or 3 days off because you might get some DOMs out of it, or a little bit of niggle from going too hard.